I'm Michael Bungay-Stanier. I'm the senior partner here at Box of Crayons, and here's why courage, your courage, is the most important virtue of them all. Now, I live in Canada, but that's because I married a Canadian. I'm originally from the sun-drenched shores of Australia, where the wine is always good and the men are always handsome. But because my father was a Brit, or a Pom as we affectionately like to call them here in Australia, I do get to go and visit the UK quite often. When I'm in London, if I can, I try and go to visit some of the fantastic art galleries there. They're all free, they're all stacked with amazing mementos and art. Clearly it helps having an empire upon which the sun never used to set. One of my favourites in London is the National Portrait Gallery, which squats on Trafalgar Square, under the gaze there of Nelson. But the last time I was there, I actually headed to the Victoria and Albert, an amazing museum of arts and design. Not, as some might have it, a museum of tattoos and piercings, which of course it could have been. Let's just say that Albert's piercing wasn't in his ear, or his nose, or his navel. You can figure out the rest. Now, while I was at the V&A, I picked up this postcard. Clearly, gambling is the world's third oldest profession, and this card reminded me that in our standard pack of cards... Okay, that's not a standard pack of cards. Let's get a standard pack of cards here. Good, okay, in a standard pack of cards, the four kings represent the kings of history. Hearts is the Frankish king, Charlemagne. Spades is the Hebrew, David. Diamonds is Caesar, proud Roman. And the king of clubs is Alexander III of Macedon, known as Alexander the Great. I mean, what a guy. In the 13 years of his reign, his empire started as one small city-state on the Greek peninsula and spread all the way into India. At its peak, it was almost as big as the United States, although, has to be said, it fell apart pretty quickly as soon as he died at the age of 34. Some attribute Alexander's success to the fact that Aristotle was his teacher. It was Aristotle that broke with Socrates. No, not this Brazilian soccer genius Socrates, the original Socrates. Aristotle broke with Socrates and said that courage wasn't just a virtue amongst many, it was the virtue, the most important of all virtues. Now, at Box of Crayons, we're all about helping people and organizations do more great work and less good work. And to do great work, you need three attributes. You need focus, you need courage, and you need resilience. Now let's put aside focus and resilience for now and stick with courage. Why courage? Because it's one thing to know what to do, and another thing altogether to have the heart to step out and actually do it, knowing that the very act of doing it will create some resistance, create upset, will create some confusion. It's more comfortable, it's safer, and it's less courageous to keep small and not take that first step. So, here's one of the questions, the big questions that lie at the heart of courage. What will you say no to, so that you can say yes to something that really matters? Or more provocatively, what have you dressed up as calm to hide a lack of courage? Because making a choice is an act of courage, but it involves saying no to someone. If everybody's happy, you're probably doing lots of good work, but not much great work. Now, if you're already jonesing for some more provocation, for more information on this, then here are 4 useful books that you can get your teeth and really sink into them. Stephen Pressfield, whose Art of War talks about the battle we all have against resistance and the challenge that poses. Seth Godin, I love Seth Godin. The Dip, which is the perfect partner to his other book, The Purple Cow, and it's all about knowing when to give up and when to push on. Robert Biswas-Diener, who's one of the big names in the positive psychology movement, and he talks about the courage quotient. And Brene Brown, darling of the TED scene for her great talks, and her book Daring Greatly, which really wisely connects courage to vulnerability and the willingness to be vulnerable. But insight without action is nothing, so act. What will you say no to now as your first courageous step? There's always more cool stuff you can find at boxofcrayons.biz, daily provocations, weekly quotes, a monthly newsletter that rocks, all free, all awesome. But for now, go out and be courageous.